Vag. What you gonna do when it's hot outside? Ooh, I know what. Listen to Vag. What you gonna do when the trains are down? Ooh, I know what. Listen to Vag.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hi guys.
We're back. We're back for a very special winter Christmas vag. You see the nice tree in the back?
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, guys. Do you say Merry Christmas ever, or you just say Happy Holidays to cover everything?
Well, if I know that they're Jewish, I say Happy Holidays. Although I know a lot of Jews like getting Christmas, like they get a tree still, and they like to.
I know a lot of Jews that do that.
I get it. It's cheerful.
It is nice to have a Christmas tree in your house. I currently have one too.
It's pure joy.
It's a lot of joy.
Although we're not going to be here for Christmas, and I thought it was funny that we would just throw it out before Christmas happened.
Oh, you could do that for sure.
I just think it'd be funny for our neighbors to see.
Why don't you just give it to a homeless person on the street? See if they want it. Say, I know you don't have anything this holiday season, but I want you to have this
funny
Christmas
thing to donate to homeless. That should be our Vag charity of give us your trees and we'll donate it to homeless people.
How about right after this episode?
Yeah.
We take the tree and go look for a homeless person to give it to.
There's one that stays by the bodega nearby around the corner.
That's nice because then you could even see the tree.
Yeah.
You go visit it.
Hey, you can have this, but I'm going to come visit it when I want to.
I just want to come say hi. And you'd be like, that's so nice. I'd love to see you. And you're like, well, to my tree.
Yeah.
I don't really care to see you.
I think he might be a little bit of a crazy person. I always feel bad for him.
You don't end up homeless and you're not a crazy person.
True. You have some kind of mental illness.
Definitely.
Yeah. Or that you, like you said, you've burned all your bridges because you've been a nasty person.
Or you've just done crazy stuff. Like your friend lets you live with him and then you come home and he's fucking your wife. And you're like, well, now you got to go.
Yeah.
And you're like, I was letting you stay here for free.
It's like, yeah, I feel like I've had friends like that where then you're like, how did you flood my bathroom? And they're like, I rescued some dogs and I thought that they needed a drinking water place, and you're like, yeah, you can't stay. Not that happened, but it feels like, isn't that?
Or something crazy where they're like, I'm going to start like a car washing place and I'm going to put the hose directly to your house. Like something insane where you're like, you can't do that.
Yeah, where it's under the disguise of, but I was helping you.
And you're like, but you're not. Now you're out.
And now everybody in the building is mad at me.
Look how big this coffee thing is.
Does it still keep it warm?
Yes.
I have one of those, but I lost it recently.
Is it called Contigo?
No, but I
think
like
that
the
means
name.
to take with.
Yes.
Or with you. Or
with you.
In
Spanish.
This is so some of that Spanish came in handy. I know what that means.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like your watch.
Oh, me and Fred exchanged a lot of Christmas gifts early, like dum-dums.
Oh, well,
we're like children.
Well, Joe already has my Christmas gift over there that he's already started reading.
Wait, did he give it to you yet?
He was like, this is your Christmas present, but
I'm going to read it
first. But he's like, I have others. But he's like, when I get a gift, I can't just hold on to it.
Well, that's what we kind of did. We just gave each other stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's a really nice watch.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know how to tell time though.
No one looks. I always look at my phone.
It's like a bracelet.
Yeah. It's just, it makes you look responsible.
I have to really try hard. So it's like 12, 1, 2. So it's like.
Oh, it doesn't have the numbers?
No.
So
I have to count also. It's like a work. It's work to do.
It's work. It's just another burden.
Basically. Thanks, Fred, for giving me work to do. I used to get made fun of because I couldn't really tell time well on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting made fun of by my mother who didn't graduate high school and my father who was a gambler. I was like, I don't know, guys. Maybe you should focus on yourself. I'm in the first grade. It's like, I'm in the first grade.
I can't be your parents here.
Yeah, it's like, I'm in the first grade and you're both stupid.
That is so funny because I always think about like times where you always think adults have their shit together. And then when you become an adult and you're hanging out with other adults, you're like, no one knows what they're doing.
My parents definitely do not know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know how they even raised us.
Yeah.
I feel like they were raising us and we were raising them.
Yeah. It's amazing that you guys made it through though.
They did not kill us. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you managed to stay off the pole.
I managed to stay off the pole. That is true. But I've done other things that I think are probably worse than that.
Yeah.
Like I've already claimed bankruptcy, which I think if I was on the pole, I'd probably
at least you're working
money, and I would have had some money to pay off debt.
Oh, I knew a lot of girls in the they were really good with their money as a stripper.
That's great.
That they were paid through their schooling that way. I didn't even make that much
Well, you
money.
didn't do it that long.
No. I remember my dad made a comment in the last few years of like, you just got to keep him off the pole. And I wanted to be like, Dad, don't you remember I did it for a few weeks? Like,
he probably blocked that out like Vietnam.
But then I want to be like, 1 out of 4 isn't bad. The other 3 didn't.
Well, I mean, 2 of them are boys. It's weird if your sons are on a pole stripping. So it's really half. 1 out of 2.
1 out of 2. Yeah.
But you did it for like a week.
About on the weekends for about 3 months.
I didn't know it was 3 months.
Yeah, but probably altogether maybe like 6 times.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's not that long.
But like 2 of them in a blackout.
I like that you wore your prom dress. I know we've talked about this before, but it's my favorite thing I never knew about you.
Well, I think that was the only thing that exuded like adult attire.
A prom dress?
A prom dress. It was a halter. It wasn't like a Jessica McClintock gunny. Remember the gunny sack dresses?
No.
Those were huge in
What is that?
It was a brand of prom dress that girls went apeshit for.
Gunny sack?
That was the like nickname for it, and it was called, and the lady named like Laura Ashley, it was called Jessica McClintock, and it was like off the shoulder. It was very pageant, what you would wear if you were at Teen USA.
Ooh.
But I remember going shopping with my mom, and that's what I wanted because that's what all the girls got. But my mom was always like showing me pantsuits.
Okay.
And being like, Sarah, I think you would look smashing in this.
To go to prom?
Yeah. Can you imagine showing up, and at least in the 90s, in a pantsuit?
One, could you imagine stripping in a pantsuit?
I'm here for business.
Do you think your mom knew you were going to strip in that prom dress, and that's why she was trying to get you into a pantsuit?
Yeah, maybe.
I got big shoulder pads.
Yes. I got my own, that prom dress that I wore for stripping. I found the pattern and I picked out the fabric and I found a lady to make it for me.
Wait, you had your own prom dress made?
Yeah, because I didn't like anything that I saw.
Wow.
But the lady didn't put a lining in the prom dress, so it was satin.
Okay.
So you could see like
your nipples.
My nipples.
Do you know I was at the Underground the other day and I had like a peach shirt on?
Yeah.
And you could see my nipples right through it. So I only noticed that because I went to the bathroom. So I had to take toilet paper and put it over.
Yeah.
And then go on stage and hope it didn't fall out.
Well, especially once you get that spotlight on it, it can make it even more.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter. No one's looking at anything about that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll see a picture where someone has like hard nips and I'm like, you know what you're doing.
Exactly. I've seen one recently and I'm like, oh, somebody's going to get more Instagram followers.
Yeah, I don't think I got any more Instagram followers.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You should post it. You probably would.
No thanks.
I feel like that would cause drama. I feel like Joe would get really mad if I started doing provocative, sexy comedy photos.
Well, it's interesting because everyone keeps telling me to go back to doing the Tinder trolling.
Yeah, you should.
I think I'm going to do it, but I had to like talk to Fred about it and be like, is this going to be an issue?
Yeah.
And he was like, no, it's not an issue. I get it. He's like, but I do get that it could be addictive and that like if we're hanging out, I don't want you to just be trolling dudes while I'm like trying to talk to you. And I was like, well, that's true. It is addictive.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll have to do it when you're sleeping. Because it is kind of a lot of that stuff does happen like in the moment where you have to kind of talk to them.
Yeah, because you're always on call when you're on Tinder.
I am like an on-call doctor. Yes. I'm like a doctor.
You're like, oh, one of my clients.
One of my clients needs me. One of my clients is calling me.
The idea of calling Tinder dates clients is so funny.
I have another client that's, first of all, it makes you sound like a prostitute.
Yeah, I just need to email back and forth with them
with a client for free.
Yeah, DM them over and over. It's a full-time job.
It's so boring. First of all, also it's not even that fun because all you're doing, so you kind of missed that. You didn't do any online dating, right?
No, I had set up for I think it was OkCupid. at the time after I broke up, I think it was Trey, between Joe and Trey.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I had a profile, and then for a while, when I wasn't sure what was going on with Joe, I would still read messages, but no one ever piqued my interest. And the idea of emailing back and forth.
Oh, it's so tedious and annoying. You're having the same conversations over and over.
Yeah.
Again. I think you would do well on online dating.
I don't know.
No. People love blondes. When I was that fake blonde chick, I was getting a lot of hits. And she was average looking, but she was a blonde and she was cute.
Why do you think that's so? I do agree that blondes get a little bit more attention.
I think because of Baywatch. I think Pamela Anderson. I think that's what it is.
Marilyn Monroe.
Well, the blondes everyone thinks are really hot.
Yeah, like the brunettes kind of get pushed to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what that is psychologically, because it doesn't mean those blondes are more attractive.
I don't know. I think it's also preference.
Well, there's like, this is something that I've noticed, like, say porn stars or just like influencers. Sometimes I'm like, are they attractive, or are they just they're hitting the checklist of blonde, bronzed, big boobs, maybe plumped up lips, and just like a lot of makeup, where you're like, sometimes I'm like, I don't think they're attractive, but because they've put this uniform on, that guys kind of respond to it in a weird
I could see that. And
way.
then sometimes you're like, if you break that person down, you're like, they're not even that pretty, but
they're porn
nice
hot.
body. Yeah, they're like porn hot.
Yeah, because you're like, I don't think this girl would actually be attractive if you saw her without her makeup.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. You're just kind of like striking, but not really attractive.
Yeah. Well, so I've had this theory too with like with Hollywood stars. A lot of the times, if you don't know if their it factor is, sometimes I think it factor is you can't tell if they're sexy or not. Like Adam Driver. You know how all this last week that people are like, I would fuck him, and then some people are like, he's so disgusting looking.
But he's like disgusting that makes him hot.
Yeah, like ugly, sexy. Like maybe like Mick Jagger.
I remember Pete Davidson referred to himself as like ugly hot.
Yeah. Girls don't get that.
No, they're just ugly. No one's like, you're ugly. I guess if you're ugly but have a nice body, they're still like, you're kind of hot.
Yeah, maybe that falls under the line of porn hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we don't get the advantage of ugly hot. Do you think that's money?
What's money?
Meaning ugly hot for guys is just that you are ugly, but you have success or celebrity.
Yeah, you also have to have money.
I also think somebody brought this up, that if you're that way, your body has to be pretty decent. Like I can't think of, because I think Adam Driver's body is pretty good.
Probably. He looks regular.
Yeah. Well, like, I don't think that there's no ugly hot guy that's fat.
No.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think, and I'm like, no. And then somebody talked like,
is Mick Jagger ugly hot?
I think so.
To me, he's just ugly. But I guess when he was younger, maybe he's ugly.
But he gets so much.
But he's also rich.
Yeah.
And famous.
I mean, girls are like, he has probably 5 like women that he's had babies with.
Okay, I guess I don't understand. Like, if you're a famous person and somebody like, like women want to sleep with like, I guess NFL players and stuff.
Yeah.
But why? They're not going to give you their money. Is it just you hoping to get pregnant?
I think.
Because if you don't get pregnant, you're just getting a dinner.
Or that you hope that you are the one.
You're the one that he loves and like never fucks anyone else.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that makes more sense, but it's crazy.
Oh, that's why when the Kardashians always date sports figures, like I'm like, why are they devastated that they found out they're cheating on them?
I mean, at this point, I wish Khloe would just date a normal person.
Like a teacher.
A regular guy who would just be happy to have her. Because basically...
she's an attractive girl.
Yes, but she's the ugliest out of the Kardashians.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So like, anyone that fucks her wishes they could fuck Kim or even Courtney or even the mom.
They're just happy to be in that
Chloe's
family.
The lowest, even under Rob and the mom. And now Caitlyn.
You think Rob is the most unattractive?
He's just fat.
I think he's clearly depressed and they've never dealt with it.
Sure.
Okay.
I also think Chloe's more unattractive than Caitlyn. I think she is now the ugliest in the house.
That's crazy.
Well, I'm sorry, Chloe. I think you should just date a regular guy, an accountant.
But it is.
Or even just date like a guy that plays high school football. A guy,
an underage.
No, someone that's like almost 18.
That failed.
Do like the Drake thing where you talk to them at 17 and then you hook up when they're 18.
Yeah. Play. Yeah.
I think an 18-year-old guy playing football would not cheat on Chloe.
No, he would be grateful to be in that position.
Or date like a high school football coach.
Yeah. Well, I guess the thing too is like they don't need a man for financial support.
Right. So just date a guy who's nice.
Yeah. Or you can't. That's why you can't be devastated when these guys cheat on you.
Do you think Kanye cheats on Kim?
I wouldn't doubt it. Here's the thing. We've talked about this with like male comics.
Okay.
I feel like most male comics
are probably cheating.
Do you think I'm going to knock out Joe in that? Only because he gets hives when he lies.
So you'll know.
So I feel like I'll know.
Joe seems like the worst liar.
He can't do it.
That's hilarious that he gets highs when he lies.
Yeah, I've seen him.
I think there's some guys that don't cheat, but I think there's a lot of them that
a small percent.
There's a lot of them that are cheating.
I guess we'd have to say not all men.
Not all men, but all men.
But yeah, that's our hashtag.
Not all men, but all men.
Yeah, because the amount of DMs they get from babes and that are willing to they just want your dick in their mouth and they have no strings attached.
I've seen comics show me their DMs and there's girls that are just showing them pictures of their ass in a thong.
Yeah.
Like that's just their opening.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Here's my ass.
I can't compete with that.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to send you a picture of my ass in a thong.
And they're also like, they're so nice because they don't have to deal with the emotional bullshit that what it takes to be in a relationship. And so they're pumping up the guy's ego all the time.
Yeah, and dating comics is not great.
No.
Insecure.
Yes.
A lot of self-hating, worried about your career constantly.
We don't know where our money's coming from.
We don't know where our money's coming from. There's no security. So it's like, yeah, dating a comic. But like that first part of just showing someone your ass and being like, ooh, this girl likes me. She's hot. So yeah. You're only dealing with a little bit of a comic then. Yeah. You're not dealing with full-blown mental illness.
Well, I remember seeing Morgan Murphy went up on stage and she talked about that. She went on a date with a guy and afterwards DM'd him with the cute little, like a pun about Dos Equis beer. You know how when you're trying to like, what can I say that's like light? Just the bullshit of dating.
Yeah.
And then she finds out this guy got a DM from a girl that like showed herself masturbating with a beer bottle or something weird. And she's like, okay, like I feel so naive that I just sent, like these are the girls that we're competing with.
Oh yeah, there's no way for us to compete with that.
No. Also, I feel like guys would also be willing to have a relationship with the girl that masturbated with the beer bottle just to get their attention.
But like put it inside her vagina.
Yeah, and just like fucked it.
That doesn't even seem fun.
No. It's probably, I don't know. I just picture stuff like that. Like, the whole time I'm more worried about her getting a UTI.
Or breaking in her vagina and cutting it herself to death.
Yeah, that would be so embarrassing. I think I would just let myself bleed to death.
The worst part about that would be, the worst part about getting cut and bleeding to death is that's probably being filmed.
Yeah.
So somebody could go watch it and see how it went wrong.
That's what's played at your funeral.
On loop.
Like a boomerang.
They're like, hey guys, that's the next PSA.
She died doing what she loved.
Fingering herself with a beer bottle.
Yeah. God, that is a fear of mine. One of the fears is like dying with your skirt over your head with your underwear off, like your pussy is exposed.
Wait, I feel like that is a very big fear of yours.
Well, it's like you're wearing a dress and you get hit by a car and it blows your underwear off, and then you're just like mangled on the street and you're like your full bush is exposed because you haven't gotten to it yet.
Now the thing is, if you're dead on the street and your bush is exposed, people are gonna finger you when they walk by. They're gonna be like, let's see if it's still hot.
I'm just seeing if she's alive.
I'm just trying to take her pulse.
Yeah,
I'm checking in her pussy.
It's cold. You're like, thanks.
What about? And
Thanks for that help.
The worst part of that is, what if you're not even shaved? You just have a full bush.
Oh yeah, that's my fear. One of.
Do you know what I did the other day? I wore jeans that had the knee taken, like the rips, and then I hadn't shaved. I just seen the hair coming out.
I've never successfully shaved my full knee properly.
There's no way to navigate that.
No, it's either that or just like you're just cutting yourself.
You're just like, let's just have hairy knees.
Yeah, it's fine.
I forgot. There was something I wanted to tell you and I forgot.
Was it through one of the conversations that we had?
Probably. We start off here and then we're like, over there.
Yeah, we probably started on the thing that everyone's like, oh, I wanted to hear more about, and you're just never going to get to it.
Well, I had to put the trailer out for the Netflix thing today.
I saw that. It looked really good.
I wasn't going to watch it.
You look great.
I watched it and I was like, I don't hate it. I don't
there
love
you go.
It, but I don't hate it.
That's a good thing.
So that means I could probably watch it in 30-second clips of myself.
Yeah. Well, it's brutal. Can we did you know that Adam Driver in an NPR interview with Terry Gross, who's like she's like the interview that you want to get as a celebrity if you want to be taken seriously in your art.
Terry Gross?
Yeah.
Who's that? I don't even know who that is.
She's a well-known NPR host that does like these very like exclusive interviews. They're very in-depth, and it's like a podcast, really.
Okay.
She had Adam Driver on, and I guess she didn't let him know that she was going to play one of his clips from Marriage Story.
Oh, that would make me so angry and upset.
Well, he walked out.
Yeah, good for now. That's what makes me like him.
Yeah.
Not anything else about him. The fact that he did that.
Well, people are like, well, that's part of the thing.
No, it's not.
No.
She didn't say he's going to watch. A lot of people won't watch their movies.
I can't. I got one time at work when they find out that you do stand-up, they started playing my YouTube clip while I was in the room, and I was so mad that I was like, I am leaving. So I just left.
And you had the rest of the day off?
Yeah. Well, I didn't. I came back, but I was like,
no,
if you play
should've.
this full through, I'm going. This is fucked up that you're.
Yeah,
it feels like a personal attack.
It does. It's like looking through your bathroom trash can.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. Where you're like, don't look through my tampons or not.
Yeah,
tampons,
being like,
but
hey, what is this?
Yeah, just anything. You're like, that's.
Did you make this?
Well, also, like when people do stuff like that, you expect them to listen to it, but like not in front of you.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't want to be involved in like watching me do stuff.
Right. And also, what if somebody watches you and they're like, I didn't think that was funny. You're like, well, I don't need to know that. Go watch it at home.
Yes. Have you ever had that happen?
Where somebody's like, I don't think you're funny?
Well,
from watching a clip?
No, not like that. But I had this at work a long time ago when I first moved here. It was these guys at the bar, and they found out I did stand up. And then they were like, tell me something funny. So I told them one of my best jokes at the time. And I don't know why I did this. And I knew I shouldn't have. And then I said it. And then the guy goes, don't quit your day job.
Ugh.
But I was working at night at the time.
You're like, well, I have a night job actually. So.
Yeah. But I went to the back and I kind of started crying. I was like, that is such a mean thing. Yeah. That after that, I was like, I will never do that. So when people ask me that, I'm like, no. And I will never do that.
No.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that. That's so uncomfortable. I remember one time I was like hooking up with this guy in a bar a long time ago, and he was a cop, which is not my favorite type of person.
Yeah, but
and he asked me to tell him a joke, and I told him a 9/11 joke, and he didn't think it was great. But I will say this, it wasn't my best 9/11 joke. I have better ones now.
Yeah.
But also, I thought he was going to think it was witty.
It's funny because it's true.
Also, yeah, it's also like, why are you upset? You made it out.
Yeah. I thought this would help you cope.
Yeah, he didn't think it was funny.
Yeah. No, it's just like, now, it's just upsetting now when people do. I feel like you're a piece of shit if you ask, tell me a joke.
The worst part is you ever tell someone a joke and they don't laugh and you're like, well, it's a little different on stage. it's a little bit different.
I humped the stool. There's a lot of act out.
Yeah, people are drunk. It's a lot better.
Oh yeah, I think now when somebody does ask me for a joke, I'd like to do like a horrible rape joke.
Oh yeah,
something that is so offensive that would be
offensive.
like, well, I was like, well, you asked.
Somebody said something to me that they wanted me to talk about on the podcast.
Sure.
They said that right now, the Miss America, Miss Universe, and Miss something else, all of them are black women.
Yeah. It hasn't been that way ever.
Isn't it a great time to be a black woman?
It's a great time.
It's not a great time to be a black dude, but it's a great time to be a black woman.
Yeah. Now you got to strike the iron while it's hot. If you're not making it as a black woman, I don't know what to tell you.
This is your time, man.
This is take advantage.
Yeah, there's just there's so many white people that are guilty about everything.
Yeah.
And
here's my thing. If you're a black woman and you've gotten something, never feel guilty because Hollywood is just full of nepotism.
Oh my God. So many.
No one gets anything the right way. So take whatever advantage that you get. And
yeah.
use
When
it.
if somebody's like, well, do you want to get something because of someone you know? And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I will definitely take that.
I remember starting off thinking like, I want to get everything the right way. Now I'm my boyfriend, Joe, gets me stuff. I do not care if you call me out on it. I don't fucking care. Yeah.
You're doing comedy like 15 years or 17 years or whatever. It's like, so if you get something from another person, you're like, you only got that because you're friends with so-and-so. And you're like, yeah.
That's how every job is gotten, even outside of comedy.
Yes. Everyone gets jobs by referrals, by friends. So it's like, if you get something by someone, it's like, great.
Yeah, just stay there.
If someone's like, you got something only because you're a woman, I'm like, thank God. I appreciate it.
I'll take it.
I can take whatever I want.
Yeah, I don't even care. If you were like, you got that because you're dad, I'm like, yeah, you're just jealous.
Yeah, don't be jealous that I have a dad.
Yeah.
That's what you have to say. I mean, I don't, but you could say that.
Yeah. But I just feel like everything is gone. Most things I've ever gotten has never been by a random, hey, congratulations. You got picked. We think you're the greatest.
Do you know how many crazy people there are in comedy where somebody told me a story where somebody that had just done one of the late night shows, a comic wrote to them and was like, hey, great set. Who's the book? Do you have the booker's contact? And it's like a new comic.
Yeah.
And the person just like didn't respond. I don't think, but it's like, are you insane? Why would you do that?
Oh, to ask who booked it?
Like a 2-year comic.
Yeah,
to be like, hey, great set. Hey, great set on your late night. I know you're doing comedy 20 years.
Yeah.
They didn't say that, but it's like, hey, do you have the booker's contact info?
Yeah, it's insane. I've somebody asked me that and you don't have the heart to be like, I can tell you that they're not looking for a 50-year-old guy right now.
You should be like, you should be like, yes, but they're not looking for you. I already know, they've told me.
It's those things too. Like those things come to you.
Yeah, but I guess when you're a new comic, you just don't know that. I remember doing open mics and this guy was there and I said to him, like, it was like the first month of me doing stand-up. And I said to him, I was like, how do you get gigs? And he's like, well, you'll meet friends who have shows and they'll ask you to be on. And he's like, don't worry about that. Just worry about getting funny and getting good. And
have fun at the moment.
And then people do ask you to do their shows.
Yeah.
You know, like that does happen eventually.
Well, I remember I was sitting with a friend of mine and he was traveling and doing the road and this girl came up. I think she was waiting tables, but she was also a comic. And she was like, yeah, how do you I'd love to do the road. Like, how did you do that? And he goes, well, I spent 10 years going to mics and slowly getting booked on shows and doing all that groundwork. And she was kind of thinking that she kind of goes, oh, I don't want to do that part. Like she wants to skip.
You're like, well,
bullshit.
Yeah, it's like you may not want to do comedy then because that's what it is.
Like why she really thought she wanted, from what I gather, it's the same thing when somebody goes, hey, can I pick your brain about stand-up? They don't want advice. They want you to be like, let me book you to the show.
Yeah, they want you to be like, hey, can you give me Hollywood's phone number? And then you give them Hollywood's phone number and they're like, thank you.
Yes.
And then they're famous. They're like,
no one wants to do the work.
No, it's so much work.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have to tear apart your family.
If you have a family.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to tear apart your family. You're going to drain your savings account if you have one.
You're going to see all of your friends have move into houses, have relationships.
Have driveways, washers and dryers.
Patio furniture.
a barbecue, a dog. And you're gonna be sharing a 3-bedroom apartment with 2 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
And you're 40.
Yeah.
And you're just gonna wake up and be like, how did this happen?
You might as well have a drug addiction for 20 years.
While also doing comedy.
Yeah. Because you can do that.
You
can do both.
It is one of the few jobs where you can have an addiction and it actually will help your career.
Yeah.
Or a drinking problem.
Well, I got in an argument with my sister where she's like...
Recently?
Yeah, in the last month or so. It wasn't really an argument, but it was more like a disagreement because I was complaining about like, what am I supposed to do if I decide to quit stand-up? I have 20 years of splotchy stuff, and then people, when you're like, I do stand-up, they don't believe the amount of work that you put into it.
Right. They're like, you're not doing anything.
Yeah, they just feel like we're sleeping until noon, which
That's
sometimes
true. That part's true.
But then we're working from like 12 to 2.
Yeah.
With podcasts, making videos, writing material, going to do mics. So we're creating content. But like no one believes you that when you do that. And my sister's like, yes, they do. And I was like, no, it looks like we came out of a halfway house.
Yeah, nobody cares about that.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone cares about you tweeting if you go to a regular job?
Like it's a job.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh, I don't care that you know how to get a joke in
under 30 seconds.
Yeah, no one cares about that.
Yeah, and that you refresh your apps for another hour.
Hoping somebody likes it or retweets it.
With the blue check markers. You're like, yes. I know. Sometimes I'm like, I think I've just refreshed 3 apps over and over again the
Facebook,
last
Twitter,
4
and
hours.
Instagram.
Yeah.
And then once in a while I'll check my email to see if Hollywood wrote to me. They're like,
Every day.
We're waiting for you.
Your limo is outside and you're going to the next level.
What movie was I watching the other day that Weinstein made? I think it was Bad Santa.
Okay. That's your favorite movie. Christmas movie.
It's my favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah, I think it was his movie. I saw that and I was like, interesting.
That's good taste.
But I'm not going to stop watching it.
No, why would you? There's so many other people in that movie that didn't do bad shit. So why should they get reprimanded?
You're watching that Bernie Mac is dead. What's his name? John Ritter?
Yeah.
He's dead.
The guy from Three's Company?
Yeah, and then I was watching an old...
I used to have a huge crush on him as a kid.
Did you? I can see that. And then I was watching the Chappelle Show and so many people on there were dead. Prince, Rick James.
Miss Patrice?
No, Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy, yeah.
So many people are dead. It's just so weird. I guess, too, the Chappelle Show came out like 16 years ago.
I know, isn't that weird?
Which is probably right before I started stand-up.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy to think?
Yeah. It just feels like from 2004 to now, you're just like, where did the time go?
Well, when I started stand-up comedy, there wasn't even texting.
Yeah. I also remember I would have to, internet was around, so I would print out instructions to get to gigs.
I'd go MapQuest. That's what I would do. And I didn't even have a printer, so I'd have to write out all of that stuff. I would handwrite MapQuest directions.
Yeah.
That's so insane. And it wasn't even that long ago.
Oh, I was thinking like with so much stuff where you're like, how... I remember doing maps, and then for every 1 inch is 500 miles. And then you'd have a map, and then I would have to do a ruler and just be like, how long is this going to take me to get to the gig?
Oh, I had no idea that you did that or that was a thing.
There was never estimated time.
Are these Christmas gifts under your tree?
Yeah, we just haven't had a chance to wrap them.
Are they for each other?
Yeah.
Ooh, markers.
That's for my niece/nephew.
Okay, well,
she's transitioning.
Is she transitioning like fully or just?
I don't know. She's in high school, so it's up in the air.
She might outgrow it.
Yeah. But we're respecting her pronouns right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does she want to be called? What does he want to be called?
I'll go with Sam.
Okay.
I don't
yeah. No, I get that. Well, regardless, I want his markers.
Okay.
Do you know what I did? I was painting decorations for the Christmas tree.
That's fun.
It's very fun.
It's super fun.
And relaxing.
I have paints if we want to paint afterwards.
Ooh, we could paint.
Joe got, those were my Christmas gifts last year, and I've only used them once. And I feel like he's really heard about it.
What you should do is just pour some of the paint out and be like, I've been painting all day.
And buy stuff at like Marshall's and be like, look what I made.
Look what I made for you. Some artwork. You know what's the best you should do? make ugly paintings and then insist he put them up.
Oh, he probably would. Maybe downstairs. Or he's like, I'm like, why is my painting behind that bookcase? It's a
He's
secret
like, I thought that
painting.
was the best place for it.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I didn't want anything to happen to it.
Well, I have this really bad habit of being like, this is my new thing. And I do it for about a week. And then it's not my new thing anymore. So I think running is going to be my new thing that I will quit.
Are those your sneakers?
Those are Joe's sneakers.
Oh, they're cool.
I did one 5K for Thanksgiving.
Oh, and now you're into it?
And now I feel like I am a runner now. But I know I've only went running once after that. And that was a month ago.
So maybe you're going to do it as much as you painted. One time.
Well, it feels bad because it feels like I tricked Joe into thinking where he's like, oh, now I know what to get her for Christmas. And then I lose interest as soon as I get it.
I get that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to keep up. Like we bought all this paint to paint these decorations.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would love to paint other stuff. And then you're like, what are you going to do with it? I'm not going to paint anything that I'm going to hang on the wall.
Yeah. And then if you give it to friends, I feel like.
You're like, gross. Why would you give me this?
I know. Like, stop giving me your trash. I knitted a baby blanket for my friend, and it was one of my first.
That's nice, though.
It took forever, and I swear to God, they probably never used it. And I remember in the first chapter of knitting, I got a book to teach me. Mm-hmm. They were like, just know don't be upset when you give a gift and you don't see it get used, but you're knitting for yourself.
It's kind of like when you tell people about comedy. You're doing comedy for yourself.
Yeah. Don't
get upset if you don't get booked or anyone laughs. You're doing this for yourself.
It's for you. Never do it for money.
I remember Amanda Baromke used to be a really good knitter, and she would like knit really nice gloves.
Oh, that's sweet. And she just had a child.
She did just have a child.
So she's perfect for that.
Yeah, and she moved back. I think she moved to Virginia.
Yeah, we should check in with her and see how.
Amanda, if you're listening to this, hi.
Hi, we miss you.
And we want to know how you're doing.
Amanda's another one that I was like, let's start our own film festival, and never did.
You tried to start a film festival?
I wanted to do make short films on your iPhone, and then once a month we show them.
That's fun.
I don't know where I have the time to do any of this, though.
It's ambitious, though. The fact that you wanted to start a film festival.
I know, but that is every time that I do it, then I'm like a day before, I'm like, fuck, we have to make 50 films in a day. Sometimes stuff will happen like that where you leave things to the last minute and you feel like overwhelmed. And my first thought is always suicide. I'm like, that's the only way I'm going to get out of this. Like, I had to write down a whole set, like a whole headlining stuff. And I was like, I have to like listen to all these sets. Like, yeah.
Because I have old jokes, I want to put in new stuff.
Yeah, it's hard to build an hour.
Well, it's also hard because like have this old hour and then I'm putting new stuff in and I'm taking stuff out.
Yeah.
And I felt so overwhelmed that I was like, you can always kill yourself.
It's
It's so comforting.
It's just funny. Or like, why did she kill herself? Oh, she couldn't commit to this. Own project.
She couldn't commit to doing comedy. She couldn't commit to doing this set and writing it out and listening to it. I've just felt so overwhelmed, and that was my first thought.
Oh, I have to do that recently with my Hilarities gig because I'm going to write it out so I can remember and then figure out what jokes to take in and then put in and figure out to work. But yeah, I haven't felt like I had a chance to do that yet.
Well, that's the thing. I also should be doing that.
Yeah.
And I felt like I haven't had a chance to do it, but I'm also like watching TV.
Yeah, I've got Love Island.
Refreshing my apps. Checking my email. Buying something on Amazon. I'm doing anything but that.
I know. Well, it's the day-to-day bullshit that I get annoyed with. Like, this is something I'm trying to work on our stuff and like transfer everything to Michael, our new producer. And so then all of a sudden Gmail is like, do you want to switch to G Suite where you can have your own domain name as your thing? And I was like, well, that's pretty cool. That sounds professional. So I'll do that for my comedy email. So then I started filling out the application to do that. And then on the very last page, it's like, this will cost you $12.99 a month. And I'm like, well, you should have told me that in the very beginning.
Well, that's why they don't tell you it, because you're so invested at that point.
Well, here's the thing. I get to that, and then I'm like, fuck that, so I cancel it. And then now it says you're in limbo for G Suite, and you have to complete this. And so I had to complete it. And then in order to downgrade back to my personal account, I have to complete it, set up the credit card, and then go back into my settings and say downgrade to personal. So I did that. Now it's locked me out of our YouTube. This was a 4-hour ordeal. And then I'm thinking, how do people do this and then throw kids on top of that?
And have day jobs.
Yeah. And then I feel so, it's almost like I got myself involved in a Nigerian scam.
And now you can't get out.
And I can't get, where I'm like, I gave all my money
you're like,
to these guys
out.
Yeah.
I just want out of this scam.
I'm going to commit suicide.
Yeah. You're like, that's my first thought to everything. A flat tire, I'm like, suicide. It's like,
yeah.
I had an old joke about where I'm like, you ever so close to it because it's just like only one little thing has to go wrong. Like locking yourself out of the house.
Oh yeah,
and
for 2 hours the other day.
You did that too? That's right.
Yeah, the same day that you had your key situation.
Yes.
And what ended up, I was like, I could have gone to bed at midnight, which would have been a normal hour. But because of that, I threw my day off by 2 hours. And my phone went dead because I didn't charge it. So I had this thing where I'm off the grid and then I've fucked up my schedule for 2 hours. I can't handle this shit anymore, that it's like suicide.
Yeah, that's like your first thought where you're like, I'm ready.
Like, can you I'm reading your suicide letter and it's like, I accidentally signed up for this thing on Gmail. G Suite. And now it's locked me out and I spent 6 hours and then MTA decided to shut down that day. And then I locked myself out of my apartment and then I had to pay $100 to get back in again. It's just like
you had to pay $100 to get back into your account.
No, I had to go, but that's like one of the things, like, you know how in New York you're like, how did I spend $100 today? It's because all your subscriptions decided to like end on the same day.
Yeah, hit at the same time. Then there's Christmas.
Yeah, or like every kind of toiletry that you need, like toothpaste, face soap.
Do you know how much that will run you?
Like almost $50 to $100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're getting toilet paper, soap.
Yeah.
I like powder.
Yeah.
Toothpaste.
Feminine products.
That's another $50.
Yeah.
It's so expensive to live.
We should just write
die.
Suicide letter that mentions every small thing and then I think people would be like, oh, it makes sense that she killed herself because I would kill myself.
She overdrafted. She overdrafted
3 times
that day.
Meaning then you have to go to the bank and be like, hey, I've been with you guys for 10 years. This is the only time that I've overdrafted.
And you're like, do me a solid.
Girlfriend to girlfriend. Girl code.
You're like twat to twat.
And then they explain to you like, yeah, but can I show you the agreement? You're like, I know the agreement.
You're like, I don't read that.
Yeah.
I'm just scrolling to say I agree.
I say yes because I need a bank account.
They should have, I agree, but I did not read this. So I'm really not agreeing. I'm agreeing just because I want to get
to the next step,
to
the next page.
I have no idea what this says. You could put in there the worst stuff where you're like, I'm going to take all of your money.
Yeah.
And you've signed up and said, I agree.
And then I'm like, I had no idea that, like, I signed a contract the other day that I was like,
what was it for? To
do an album recording for Mother's Day.
Okay.
And I was like, $500? Sure.
Your whole life.
They could probably sell it for anything.
You're going to have advertisements on the moon.
Yeah. And then they make like $1 million.
And aliens are like, we love this girl, Sarah Tilamachi.
You know, if they did contracts and the size of how BuzzFeed does their articles in big print,
you would read it?
And then have the major stuff up front and being like, this is where we'll fuck you.
This is the fuck you clause.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that.
But at least you're like, okay, they are going to fuck me, but at least you know how you're getting fucked and you can determine if it's worth to get fucked.
They're not going to do that.
I know, but why not? Because there is fuck you stuff in contracts.
A ton of it.
Yeah.
They're hoping that you're just going to scroll and say, I agree.
Yeah, I don't want to, because I'm like, I don't want to pay for a lawyer because then that would be the $500
that you're going to get. So you're just going to sign away your life.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah. It's been nice knowing you. You might have to kill yourself to get out of that agreement.
That's all right. That's why don't you wish you got 9 lives like in a video game?
Or like a cat?
Yeah, where when you kill yourself,
you just have 8 more lives.
Then you come back and everything started over again.
That's not a bad idea. But are you starting over like you're a child?
I wouldn't mind that.
I wouldn't mind being a child again either, even though it wasn't great. It's better than this.
At least I know what to do now. I would love to do Groundhog's Day to realize what I could do better.
That would be an interesting day.
Like, what could you do better?
Everything. I could be waking up at a normal time, going to sleep at a normal time.
Do you think you would leave your family?
How old am I?
9. Like, you could get emancipated. Is that what the term is?
What would I do at 9 by myself? Like, it's
work
not like
in a sweatshop.
So I'm gonna go move to China.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think I'd have to be.
Could you move to another family? You could go through foster homes
and then get raped by everyone.
Are people getting raped in foster homes?
I think you're either being severely ignored or severely raped.
That's to get your new kitchen put in.
That's right. Call back to the other podcast.
That's for our true fans out there.
That's right. It's not for everybody.
Yeah. It's an inside joke.
What are you going to do for Christmas?
Joe and I are going to Texas, and then he's leaving on the 26th. Yeah, to Houston. We're doing shows in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Ooh, that should be fun, right?
Yeah, we're doing a one-nighter at Lafayette Comedy, and then that's on the 21st, and then that's on the 20th, and then the 21st we're doing a show at The Secret Group in Houston.
Ooh.
Where Skankfest will be. That Adrian and I will be.
At Skankfest.
At Skankfest South.
Skankfest South, yeah.
And then Adrian and I will also be in Moon Tower.
We're really blowing up.
Do you think we are in a way?
Just blown out? Do you think they've just run out of women that are willing to do?
Well, I had a theory this year that I might get half hours because they've used up all the Sarahs.
You definitely can get a half hour.
Although I don't want to do a half hour on Comedy Central.
You know what I say? Get the offer and then say no.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I haven't submitted, but I'm going for their digital.
Are they doing digital half hours now? They're just
the 15 minutes, but I feel like those get shared more and more people see it because it's online.
Smart.
Nobody's sharing the half hours that play at Friday at midnight where either people are asleep or they're out.
Did they ever do the 15s?
They do 15s on their digital.
Oh, I didn't know.
And they're constantly putting those out.
That's great. Yeah, I didn't know they did that.
Yeah. But those get quite a bit of views. I don't want to do. Nobody watches the half hours.
Nobody's watching anything anymore.
Well, at least like Comedy Central doesn't have this where it's like a streaming service, but at least with the Netflix, people can go find you and they can watch you whenever they want.
That's true.
Yeah. Where like Comedy Central plays their half hours late at night and then they're streaming their online stuff. It's horrible.
I tried watching something on Comedy Central. They have like so many commercials.
Just rainbow wheels buffering the whole time.
Slow. I mean, it's a surprise to me they've lasted this long. They're going down the tubes for sure.
It's a nightmare.
I hope it doesn't go down the tubes before you get some money from them.
That's true. I just want money.
That's all we want.
Even though we were told not to do this for money, which I'm like, I know that's what I have been doing.
You're like, we have not been doing this for money for a long time. Yes. We're like, now we would like some money.
Let's change it up a bit.
Yeah, it's not like we were expecting money right away.
Part of me, I should have just been like, yeah, Alan, I haven't been doing this for money and it's not making me happy. So maybe I should do it for money.
And then you'll be happy.
I'll be happy. It's always fun to put a loophole in your therapist's healthy argument. I remember doing that in a 12-step program when they're like, you know how they're like, you shouldn't be gossiping. Mm-hmm. And then they say what people say about you is none of their business. And I remember I brought that up to my sponsor where I go, if we're not supposed to be gossiping, but we can, because I can just say if somebody confronts me on it, whatever I say about you is none of your business. And then she was like kind of upset with me for bringing that up.
Ooh, that's funny.
It is. But I was like, I know I shouldn't and both sides are right. But it is funny to be like, that is my go-to argument when somebody's like, I heard that you're gossiping about me. That hasn't happened in a while, but we talk about a lot of people sometimes.
You mean gossiping what, on here?
Not on here, but just like in life in general.
Oh, and somebody's like, I heard you talking about me.
Where you're just like, I can talk about whatever I want and I'm not spreading lies, am I?
I guess it depends.
I just don't want to hurt someone's career.
Sure, but I don't think we have that ability, to be honest. I mean, we're only hurting our own careers.
Well, I would never talk shit about a comic in front of a booker. And if somebody ever was like, what do you think I should book this person? I will always say yes, or like they do a really great job.
Okay.
Meaning
fair.
if I don't find them funny, I'm like, they kill every time I see them. I think that's a fair statement.
Oh, definitely. I would say that too.
Yeah.
Unless it was somebody I fucking hated.
That's an awful person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't...
I don't think there's anyone I hate in comedy.
No. Even the crazy people, I'm always like, they're pretty
Sometimes
fun
I
and they
like
have
them.
decent moments that it's not bad.
So for...
What are you guys doing?
For Christmas, I'm going to go to Philly and meet Fred's family.
Is that the first time? I remember you did that on the first date, right?
No, not on the first date. But one of the first times I went to his house.
But formally. This is formal, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, I met his mom before.
Okay.
But I'm going to meet like a bunch of his family.
That's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Isn't it nerve-wracking to meet? Sometimes you want your significant other to have
you
no
know what's
family.
not nerve-wracking about it is, like, I've already asked him the crazy stuff I could say, and he's told me what I can and can't say.
Okay.
But also, I just feel like if they watch any of my comedy, they'll be like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
She's just going to be outrageous.
They're already prepared.
I think so. What I'm really looking forward to, and I'm going to see if I can get his uncle to do it. He used to be a detective.
Yeah.
For like, I guess, murder. I don't know. So I said to Fred, I was like, do you think we can get him to do a 10-minute podcast about how we can get away with murder?
Ask him. I think that would be a really great podcast.
That would be for our top tier. Because this would be a professional telling us how to get it. Because me and Fred both have different ways of killing each other, and I think his way sucks.
Oh, yeah. And then also, like, where's the best place to hide a body?
Fred once put me in a wood chipper. And I was like, that's a fucking mess. I don't know. He's like underground. I'm like,
DNA everywhere.
That's what I said. He goes,
you got to burn it, I think.
An underground wood chipper. I was like, a wood chipper's humongous.
That's a lot of money, Fred.
I guess that's what he's saving up for. He's a big saver, so.
Or go on a boat and then chip you out into the ocean as chum. But I feel like you're going to have receipts and somebody's like, yeah, he came down to the dock. He asked for a wood chipper.
He goes,
I thought it was weird at first.
He goes, and then I'm going to return it. I go, there's no way Amazon's going to take it back. You cannot return your wood chipper.
I don't know. I feel like I told you that story. Like one time I went to Best Buy and had to return something, and there was a couple in front of me, and they had this big box that that has a TV screen in it, and they go, yeah, when we opened this, there was nothing in here. And then Best Buy was like, okay, they took it back.
They took the box back. You were saying this to me. That's insane.
I know. And they let the couple get store credit.
I would just be like, I want another TV.
I think that's what they were going to go do, is get something else for store credit.
It's crazy.
So because like, who the fuck buys gets a present, a big screen TV, and was like, yeah, I thought it was kind of light when I wrapped it up, but I just thought this day with technology.
So one of my Christmas gifts was
right now.
Okay, yeah, a doggy carriage from Zuzu.
Oh, that's great.
She's too fat for it. So Fred put it together. We put her. First of all, he put her in it, and she went like this with her legs to not go in it. And I don't care if you're all judging me. I don't care if she's looks cute in it.
Yeah,
because I want to be able to. She's 26 pounds and should be 20. So I want to bring her to the dog park, but like when she gets tired, put her in that to rest and then bring her around again.
Yeah.
So she doesn't fit in it. He had to take the whole thing apart. I
love that you're like, you can't, like with adults, when you buy like jeans and you can't fit into it, you're like, I guess I'll just try to diet.
Well, she's on a diet.
Yeah.
We've cut back her food.
Oh, you have so she can fit in it?
No, he took it back today.
Okay.
'Cause I always say to him, when you return something, it's free money.
Yes.
So like I have about $600 worth of stuff to return at my house, and that's just like free money.
Yes.
To me.
Although it's a full-time job returning stuff.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
You have to really fit into your time. So between that and waking up late, I'm really not working on anything.
We have no time for projects.
I have no time for projects.
Yeah. Oh, and I still have G Suite nonsense to fix.
How are you going to fix that? Why don't you get an assistant? Remember we were making fun of people.
An intern?
That have interns?
Does anyone want to? I'm sure Jen should intern. Do you know, I've been talking with him. Shin.
Have you?
I think I'm so
We
bad.
never say his name right. Let's
so
just
bad.
call him X.
X. He's been DMing us on Vag Instagram.
Oh, nice.
He's now a trainer at Equinox. But then he was saying, once you get trained, then you have to go on the floor at the gym.
Get your own clients.
And then I was like, that reminds me of when you strip.
It reminds me of when you sell cars.
Yeah, you have to go out there and be like, hey, do you like my body?
And I have to be like,
you
hey,
can get this.
You want to buy this Honda?
Yeah.
We both did stripping differently. You were doing it with your body. I was trying to sell Hondas.
Yeah. It's all about selling yourself. It sounds awful.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering.
He can be our intern.
There's a little bit of drama in Fred's family, which I'm really looking forward to.
Isn't drama the best when it doesn't involve you and you get to see it a little bit?
I kind of even like when it involves me.
Well, I like office drama, and this is family dramas the same way.
Right. Well, what's nice about family dramas, I could drop in, see it, and then leave.
Yeah, and you're not. My thing is like, do not form alliances.
At the
get in and get
Christmas
out.
Eve.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna form any alliances
because they start giving you their opinion, their side of the story. You say one thing, and then they go back to that person that they have a problem with, and then they're like,
"Well, so and so agrees with me."
Yeah, and then you're like, "God damn it!"
I can just be like, "Hey, I have no dog in this fight."
Yeah,
but I want to hear all the drama.
Yes,
and of course it's with the women.
Yes.
I don't think dudes ever have drama.
They do. I've been in groups dynamic before where guys are the more drama because they have the ego situation. But in family, it's usually the women of their family or the matriarchs.
Yes.
There's a lot of ego where most of the guys in the family are just like outside doing yard work and don't want to have anything to do with it.
And they're also just drinking and burying their problems
with sports.
Yep. It's all inside, all their problems.
That's why they have explosive diarrhea.
Yeah, and they're like, there goes my shit with my mom. There goes my shit with my uncle.
It's done.
It's all out.
Well, that's always been my theory of like, because every guy that I've dated always has explosive diarrhea. And I'm
Do you think he's just, you're like,
that's him crying.
You're like, what aren't you telling me that you're mad about?
Yeah.
You just stunk up the bathroom for an hour.
Can you just tell me so I don't have to clean your diarrhea off the bowl?
Underneath the seat.
Yeah, sometimes you're like, how did you get it outside of the toilet?
You're like, you're very talented. So yeah, I'm doing that, and then I'm going to come back to I'm not even seeing my mother.
Yeah.
I did buy my nephew a gift.
There
so my
go.
sister said she's going to come over and give it to him because I said I'm not going to a house with that lady.
Good for you. Boundaries.
Yes. Although my stepfather now is sick.
Oh, that sucks.
I know, and I'm hoping that he doesn't die because then my mother will get the whole house, and that's really what she wants.
Yeah.
So I hope he is able to somehow get the house either sold or something that my mother doesn't get at all. Because I don't know if he's sick and dying or not.
Could you help him try to sell it? Or is that not what he wants to do right now?
I think he's got to deal with his stuff first.
Okay.
And then we'll see.
Okay.
But my
we'll figure out a plan.
Would love that.
Well, yeah, it feels like that's how she works.
She just waits for people to die.
Your mom is basically like figuring out how to survive without really working a lot.
Without working at all.
Yeah. Okay. I was just trying to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Oh no, she doesn't. She's my mother has never had like a real job.
Yeah.
Her job is just dating men.
Which also
is a full-time job.
It is a full-time job.
But
and some guys like the gold digging. That's my theory.
But she's not even digging for gold. She's digging for like courts. Like she never even marries rich. She's just marrying people that
for
like
apartments.
Well, now she has a house, but like she's just marrying people to stay afloat. Like she's never killing it.
Yeah. But just like surviving that she doesn't have to be out in the street.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it is I really hope that he doesn't die for that reason.
Guys, we need all your good vibes for it.
We need all your good vibes so that my
send prayers or emojis.
My stepfather's surgery goes well, so my mother doesn't get all his money.
Yeah. If that's our Christmas wish.
That's my Christmas wish, is to keep him alive and that my mother doesn't get the whole house.
I think that's a great Christmas wish.
Yeah. I would agree.
Guys, send us your Christmas wishes.
Ooh, your Christmas wishes, and then also your New Year's Eve.
No matter
New Year's resolutions.
Yes. Oh my God, do you have any?
My New Year's resolution, I told Marlene I would do whatever she says within reason.
Okay.
That's one of my New Year's resolutions.
Okay. I guess it's just my New Year's resolution is to finally write a movie.
How about just using the paint? Can you just use the paint?
I don't know. Maybe.
Guys, send us your Christmas wishes and your New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, or what you think our resolutions should be.
Yeah, we also did get a guy that told us we laughed too loud in the mic.
Sorry,
I don't know what we could do about that.
I don't
Also,
know.
you work in a very loud job, so maybe get a different job.
Or headphones.
I think he's using headphones, but he's saying like we're not that loud, but our laugh is loud.
Oh yeah.
So
well,
I think you should get a new job.
we're using Joe's equipment, and
So maybe
it's
this
the
is
nice
better.
rounded.
Let us know if this is better, and then we'll buy these stupid foam things, or we'll just steal them from Joe.
And then I'll leave
You'll leave him
for his podcast equipment.
Ooh,
Just kidding, but it's tempting.
it is tempting.
I think that's it.
I think that's it for this,
Guys, happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Thank you to anyone that is listening to the podcast.
It's been a really great year.
Anyone that signed up for the Patreon. I think me and Sarah, next year is our year. The year of the white woman.
We're going to...
We're bringing it back.
It's a Chinese animal.
Yeah, the year of the white woman.
Yeah.
It's just like a white woman with a scarf around her neck.
Yeah.
Which is also turns into a noose.
Yes.
So it's very cool.
That sounds great.
Watch The Degenerates, New Year's Eve. If you don't like it, I don't want to hear. And Sarah's taping her first comedy album.
I'll just finish on this. I just found out the Oscars are that night, and I'm highly upset about it.
You know what?
I want to reschedule.
When I filmed mine, there was also something big too. Mine was in July, but there was some award show also.
Probably like the
Grammys
or the Emmys, I think, are in the summer.
There was something that was on that date, and I was like, oh, fuck. Because the audience on the first show, it doesn't matter, though. You guys are going to have fans coming out that are probably not watching the Grammys or Oscars.
Yeah, and I know that other comedy clubs are able to fill it out, but a lot of the times, like, that weather time of the year is so awful. Like, you know how last night was? I wanted to cancel everything.
Do you want to reschedule?
I asked, and nobody's responded.
I'd say wait till you get a response.
If I can't, like, I'll just accept it, and then I'll keep promoting, but I'll let you know if it changes.
Okay, well, if not, everyone should buy it, though.
Yeah, at least buy it.
Don't be cheap. And that's it, guys. Thanks for your answers, questions, comments. Thanks for the people that signed up to the Patreon. We do have this new producer that I think things are going to come out.
It's going to be our year.
It's going to be our year. It's the year of the white woman. We're taking it back. We're taking it back like a rape.
There we go. I'm all
guys.
for that.
Thank you for listening.
All right, bye.
Bye.